And hello and welcome back into the Epoch. This will be episode 11. And what I want to accomplish in today's episode is basically do a quick little review. This would be spawn where we came in, showing Stoic's beautiful build. And then the first thing we did when we came into the world is we made the spawn house. And the reason we're going to go down memory lane here, although it's only been 10 episodes, is the server has pretty well gone quiet. With it being summer and the world being basically a year old for most people, it's kind of run its course for a little while. So I think most people are taking a break or switching to some other projects. So we're going to move on to for now, but I want to go back and review what we've done. So this was my starter house. I actually took a lot of pride. This took me almost 3 weeks to do in game, and it's probably the most put together and decorated I've made a build before. And there was things we were going to do, like I had intentions of doing like a water feature here, but the road was going to change and anyways. It's fine. I like the way it is. I like the way it turned out. I liked that I was able to pretty well copy the image I found on Google into real life, as well as this building has a lot of memories. Yeah, the interior doesn't seem like a whole lot probably to most, but to me, like the little details of putting cushions on the sofa and getting the armor stands in the ground. This took a lot of time for me to do the way I wanted in my head. But anyway, back to some of the memories. The first basically week of the server for me, I was gifted this shovel for collecting sand, so I kept it here. This was from my wither fights. The first wither fight I went with leather armor on. As you could probably see, I died a lot. This hoe is from the second wither fight. I actually collected that from the ancient city. What else in here? Again, the beacon would be where PJ died in the first fight. Again, I'm not trying to rub it in. I just want to say thank you. Other things we have in here would be some of the pigeons I rescued from the jungle while building the house. I gave them a little house and a little music disc. Let them dance. It's always fun. I never know where the music disc is going to go. Yeah, and the level of detail I put into the exterior out here was not something I normally do. Like I was thinking about sight lines and color palettes and block variation. It's all kind of stuff I don't normally do. Normally it's I flatten the place out and put a building on it. Here is where I made most of my money on the server. I didn't actually do any strip mining at all. I dug a little bit of deep slate, but I didn't go for diamonds. I think maybe I dug 3 or 4 diamonds out in the whole time I've been on the server. All the diamonds I made were from selling sand and gravel. Actually, I think the next thing we'll do, because I didn't do anything else around spawn. No, this is all other people's work. The other thing I did though is to get sand, I destroyed a couple deserts, so let's go there. A little side note, as we travel around the world here, and I show you off some of the things that I've done, I'm not going to spoil anything of anybody else's, whether they make a video or not. It's not mine to spoil. This, however, is the Nether Hub that has been in several videos, and I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed the way that this looks. Like, I wouldn't have thought to do a large space like this, where you can continue the carpets on the ground to make it spawn proof up to the ceiling, to make it, and then to have the collars per portals. I really like the way it turned out. This is definitely something I would do in my own world. But this was the first place we went to, so let's get through the portal and I'll show you the devastation. through the portal into Desert 1, and this is the first place I went to, and I stripped a lot of the red sandstone. Let's get up in the air here a little bit. All the desert all the way over here, up and down this whole island. I know I'm flying by it pretty quick, but most of the sand is all stripped off of this hill, this mountain. And this is only Desert 1, so let's get to Desert 2. Finally into Desert number 2, and I don't think this was ever on camera, because why would you? But this was a lot more sand taken out. The sand was taken out all the way over here, up and down this hill, all the way over to this village, all the way over here, up over this mountain, down over this mountain. All this sand was gone up over here, all the way over to this village. Yeah, this was the second coming, so I would go basically for 13 shovels worth. Make a trip back here, fill the shulkers up, and then go back to mend the tools again. But that's not it. We also did gravel. The other material I collected was gravel, of course. And what I did is I just flew around and found a gravel mountain. And so this whole mountain range was mostly stripped. All said, it was about 50 shulkers of gravel I dug out, and probably 3 times that in sand. Yeah, easily. I'd say I probably averaged 6 hours a week just mining resources. And I'm broke. It's hard to believe, but you sell all that, you make all that, and then you still end up broke. But no, all the resources, all the diamonds I got ended up going into another project. So before we get to some of the bigger projects I worked on, close by is the boat race. And here we are at the boat race. Something I would do differently in the future to ever do a boat race again is you might be farther ahead, although the scenery looks kind of nice. Having polar bears that constantly attack you because you're close to bait, like, it's just frustrating. It would have been better off making ice and even making it up off the ground or in a different biome. But I got most of the lights in, but boat races are cool, but I don't enjoy boat races, so I didn't really focus on it too bad. I think it would have been cool with some more active people on, or somebody that really enjoyed boat races to do. I think it could have been a community event, and it still may. Like, the server's not done; it's just on break right now. So yeah, there's the boat race, and this leads me into my first big project. Geez, I almost forgot on the way back to the main base is the topic of like the last 3 episodes was my community build here. This has been actually a lot of fun, very challenging to make shapes. I normally do very square things, and to do round and then have a pattern wrap, it's very challenging. If you've got the patience for it, absolutely something you should try at least once to do. And again, interiors is not something I do a whole lot of, so this project in whole was a lot of fun. I would gladly do more build projects like this. It's been, yeah. With all the community events that Stoic put on, between like the wither fights, the dragon fights that I saw, and community builds, and then just before I joined, there was videos of them doing the searching for all the clue searches, or whatever you wanted to call it. Yeah, so there's a lot of things going on here when people are on. Another quick memory for me was so a couple of late night Discord chats with Jammycats. It was really cool to how friendly people have been here on this servers. Just out of the blue, Jammycats hooked me up on Discord and to chat with basically a fan of her husband's. It was really cool. Yeah, we spent a couple hours just chit-chatting while we were playing games. That's really cool, really fun. But no, this build was a lot of fun, a lot of work. Maybe just don't look straight up if you're ever here. I tried. Come on, I tried. Anyways, let's get to the main base. So one of the first things I did in the realm with the money I made off of sand was I talked to Discord and I messaged if anybody knew where a Mushroom Island was. And Snots, who, by the way, I don't want to spoil it, but his nether tunnel is just amazing. Especially to fly down. Maybe if I can get permission, I'll show you in a video sometime. But I got the coordinates for a Mushroom Island because that's just my preference. That's what I like to base at. So the first project I did was making a nether tunnel. The plan was for this to be in reference to a book series that I realized after starting I had no time. I didn't have the time it would take to do the book series the way I wanted. So I just converted it. All this skulk I made in a farm. A lot of diamonds I made off of sand went into buying wool for this. And we're going to walk to show you a kind of an idea of how long this is and why it took me a couple weeks to make this. I kind of, oh, there's one piece missing. I enjoy larger projects. It allows you to basically turn on some white noise or a podcast or something, kill some time before bed, that sort of deal. Even watching a movie in the background, you can handle. I love the way the skulk looks when it flashes. Anyways, I do enjoy the larger projects. I had always intended to making this the way I wanted. I think I showed it off in a creative. This was to be the horizon in reference to, like, you know, the pink of a sunset, and I was going to put like little islands or land masses. Somebody's come through. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was going to put land masses and decorate this whole tunnel the whole way down, but realistically with blue ice, you travel through here so quick the world can't render it anyways. But I do like the way it looks, especially when it flashes. And we're not even halfway there yet, so we're going to have to start flying. Even collecting this blue ice took me probably 4 days just to make this single line path. So yeah, this was a pretty big project actually. Yeah, we're not there yet. And there we go. We're into what I was going to do for the nether hub. So we had 9:30 or so for digging a tunnel, because I just enjoy digging the nether, I guess. And that brings us to, well, let's show up the farms first. Kind of what one of my side goals is, I didn't really explain it, was I wanted to make farms, but farms in a way that I'd never done before. Not only I hadn't even done this before, but I'd never seen it before, is making a Soul Sand Valley skeleton farm. And this is actually really productive. The way they zip down in here. Once it starts happening, it goes pretty good. I got it kind of shrunk down a little bit so it works better. I don't know that this is the most effective way to get bones in the whole game. I think a fish farm or some kind of like moss farm is probably quicker than this. But I mean, come on, you watch the mob zip across on the conveyor belts. It's satisfying. So yeah, I think going forward in this world or any next world that I do is I'm going to worry about not trying to duplicate what I've done in the past, is to make completely new farms. And that goes into my little industrial area here. This was kind of a second thought. I hadn't really intended on making an area like this. I had kind of intended on buying stuff at shopping districts instead of making my own. Let's finally turn that off. But it just turned out it was more convenient, or some shops just weren't there. But so yeah, we made the Ocean Monument Farm. That I probably next time, I don't think I'll, although this is my favorite design I've ever seen by Stoic, is the Guardian Farm that they zip up and get crushed in the conveyor belt. You block off all the spots and they come up the tubes. The only thing is, on this realm specifically, or this world, they seem to get stuck at render distance. It's very strange. Like the rates on this specific farm were way worse than they were on the previous one I made. But so I think, like, in the future, I don't think I'll make this again, although I love the way it works, is I'll try to make up my own design from now on, I think. That led to the Skulk farm. This was one of the first farms I had to make because I didn't know how it worked. Yeah, I had to have Zach came over here and we spitballed the ideas around for a while as to why, like, I didn't understand the mechanics behind it. Now I do. Now this is a great farm to do. It automatically, like, if you want Skulk, the block, this is the way to do it. Just a straight on gold farm for EXP, and then just a general mob farm for just general drops. This had the conveyor belt on it as well. Obviously you can't see it from the outside. This should be like way bigger to get better rates. But I really enjoyed the fact that this is different. I've never done, because we're on basically the Epoch, I wanted to put a conveyor belt on everything. So this was one of the major catalysts, this farm, to not only the nether tunnel, but to my main base build. So the main base build started as one thing and changed to another. So I've had a couple of larger ideas, and what I wanted was something large that would take me a while to do, which this is, and it has. But I probably should have picked a different material. White or concrete of any sort, I should have used something that I could have just sourced myself. This took every diamond that I had to spare, plus ones I had to beg and borrow from other people to get resources for. And I could have made my own sand or concrete, yes. But my whole goal on this world was to interact with people. So I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 18s, give or take 120 shulkers of white concrete, I want to say. Every diamond I had went to it, and this is not updated, so let's fly up there. It's not done, but I don't have the diamonds to make it any better than this for now. I am halfway. Or 2/3 of the way, however you want to call it, on the exterior. But I prefer the Mushroom Island. I prefer not having mobs spawning, even when you don't want to. I mean, they just blow stuff up like they did upstairs. It's just one thing. When you don't have a whole lot of time, if you can cut back that one little thing. So yeah, you can start to see some lines. This was kind of the inspiration. A little bit of this was from Mumbo Jumbo's season 6, I believe. His build that was like a sphere. And looking back, this should have not been completely encased. I think some of the genius of his base in that world was that it was open enough to see inside. I had an idea of making this. I talked like it's done. It's not done. Um, Making this like you taking the biomes out of the and rescuing the biomes. But anyway, this was going to be the base and still is. Still work in progress. This furnace array is all set up and ready to roll. Iron farm, and then next would be like bone meal powered farms, which was why we made the skeleton farm to start with, to get the bones, to make this farm, to make that farm. Like it all kind of works together. The other things I've done on this main island was basically, oh, there's more concrete. Just the mines. I did a little bit of mining down. Basically, all the mining I've done was to make a mine. It wasn't actually to get resources. I just never had the need for it. All I've really used is some deep slate, and I dug this out just to make a. I had originally thought maybe I'd put the smeltery down here, but then I decided to put it up in the main island. And then down here at diamond level, like I said, I think maybe I've mined 4 or 5 diamonds, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I made these tunnels, and I've dug out 1 row. But I took the cues from PJ about how, like, I never usually decorate down in a spot like this. Usually I just dig a hole. But this did make me want to come down here and can keep doing it. I planted this and just never used them. Anyway, the other thing I did down here was I did dig for netherite. So I put a portal down here that linked me up to the bottom of the nether, because the other portal being upstairs was at the top of the nether and this one's at the bottom. So let's talk about some future goals and what I've learned. So obviously I have enjoyed this immensely. Meeting some of the people here on the Epoch have been great. From Zach and PJ to Grace and Liz, just Jay and Jamie and everybody. It's been great. Everybody's been so open and kind. It's been basically makes you want to come on. Completely open for a new season or to come back and continue in on what I've already started here. But I lose some motivation really quick playing solo now. Once you start playing Minecraft with people, it's hard to go back to playing by yourself. As far as YouTube content goes, I'm not sure if it's going to continue on Minecraft for the summer. Summer for me personally it's a lot of work. Like my work life takes over my personal life quite badly in the summertime. So I would have needed to take a break from Minecraft anyways. I would have had maybe 2 or 3 hours to spend on it a week, but not enough time to do the builds that I really had in mind. So I think YouTube wise for the next little bit I'll go to like episodic versions of some of the other games I enjoy playing that don't take, like, for me to make this a video for this iron farm, it was basically a 2-week process with time that I'm not going to have. So switching to say Civilization 6, which I want to try to do, I can basically just record for an hour instead of working off camera for 8 or 10. So that would be kind of the goal for the summer. Now, that being said, I've really enjoyed making YouTube content for Minecraft and for Minecraft viewers, because this is the game I enjoy playing. It's been a lot of fun to learn. But there is the second point, would be what I've learned from doing Minecraft versus playing Minecraft for YouTube is completely different than playing Minecraft for yourself. And what I mean by that is, although I'm not much of a planner, you do have to kind of plan what you're doing when you're doing it, and you have to kind of set aside some personal time to do it if you want to try to maintain some kind of regular schedule, which I feel like I did and didn't do. There's a couple weeks where I didn't get a video out, which it was in my head I wanted to, but it takes a lot of background work to get done well. So I think in the future, for if there's, say, a season 2 of the Epoch, or if I go on to like a single player let's play or join another server, it's now I know that if I want to make a weekly episodic version of Minecraft, I have to pick battles that I can accomplish in that time frame. It's okay to have an underlying massive build, which I mean I enjoy the bigger builds, but I have to kind of knock out weekly stuff into manageable, realistic levels for me. I'm like I say, I'm a full-time person. I have a family. I have a life outside of Minecraft and YouTube. This is just a hobby. It's meant to be fun. It's not work. But this has been a lot of fun, and I don't want to give it up. I want to keep doing it. So like I said, the lesson I've learned from the first season is to make more manageable builds. So not smaller builds, I'm not trying to say that, but maybe not a build and a farm and a this and a that and a tunnel and a, like, pick your poisons. Oh, and this is the other big thing. What I've learned from an economy, because I've always played on single player worlds or realms with no economy, but in an economy, try to avoid, future life lessons, try to avoid selling product that you have to get manually. I spend a lot of time in this world doing this with a shovel, getting sand for hours upon hours, listening to Twitch or YouTube videos. I spent a lot of time doing this with a shovel, getting sand and gravel. Yeah, next time I would figure out some sort of farm that, even if you have to run AFK, as long as it's something like in the future, it's going to be bamboo for wood, I think, or bones, that type of deal. And let the sand be, you go get it when you need it, because I don't have the time to provide sand for 8 or 10 people. It's a lot. It's a lot of work, and God bless anybody that can do it, because I did it once. It's somebody else's job next time. Yeah, so manageable builds and sell a manageable product. I think too, I want to try to do more community type of things instead of concentrating on my little island by myself, is to spend more time making builds at the spawn area. I did my little building, my little starter house, but the common area at spawn is where everybody goes, so I should have been concentrating on making shops or community use things there. So that being said, this will be the conclusion for episode 11. I'm not going to say that the Epoch season 1 is done. I might find some spare time throughout the summer and come back and try to button my builds up, because I don't like there's everything's half done. I want to get things done. But I will call this to be continued. How's that? Yes, to be continued on the Epoch. I say if people come back and it's people need stuff or need some help, or I can be on and have some conversations with people while I'm doing stuff and doing some work. Yeah, well, I'll love to be on here. I'd say I've met some people that I consider friends, which is hard to do when you're the age I'm at playing playing a game that we play. But this is also going to give me the opportunity to spend more time. Maybe I can learn the editing part of it better, that I'm trying to teach myself, and to try some different content. Let's try some Civilization. Yeah, actually, I'm going to fire it up right now. We'll do some Civilization. It should be at the next episode. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.